Good morning, children. Till now, we have completed three lessons from your textbook, 7th class textbook. Okay, so now you are going to do the revision part of these three lessons once again. Today, I'll start with the food components first lesson. What are food components and complete it accordingly. Okay, children, see here the topics that were covered in the lesson of food components are what are food components. Next, list of food items and food components present in them. Confirmation or test for the different components like carbohydrates, proteins, and fats. And roughages. What are roughages? How it forms the dietary fiber and water, use of water in our diet. So these are all the components how it makes a balanced diet. So how can we improvise our diet balanced regularly? So is it a costly or cheaper that we can maintain? So what is all about we'll again revise in this chapter once again and about the history of food and nutrition. So these are the topics that we are going to cover now. Okay, children. One is food components. The first one. What are food components? What is its meaning? So food components. The components or the nutrients that are present in our food that requires for the growth and repair of our body are called as food components. So especially what is the function of food we should know before entering into the food components. As you know well, food gives us energy to carry out various metabolic activities. Food gives us energy. First, functions of food. First point, food gives us energy. Food gives us energy. It provides the repair and of the worn out tissues. It gives the repair. It also needed for the repair of worn out tissues. Okay, children. Next, it helps to provide the growth. Food also helps to provide growth of the body. Okay, so food gives us energy, repair of worn out tissues, provide the growth, maintains the body functions. What does it do? It maintains the body functions. What are the various body functions that the food helps to do in our body? They are the various metabolic activities like ingestion, respiration, digestion. So these are the various metabolic activities, excretion. So these are the metabolic activities that are taken by the energy that is produced by the food intake. Okay, children. Next, it also helps in maintenance of the body and gives the resistance against the diseases. It provides us the resistance against the various disease causing germs and preventing our body from getting the diseases. Okay, children. So these are the functions of the food. Food gives us energy. It helps in repair of worn out tissues, provide growth, maintains the body functions. Various metabolic activities of the bodies are carried out by our body through the energy that is produced by the food, and it helps for the resistance against the diseases. So these are the main functions of the food. Okay, so next coming to the part of food components. Food components are the nutrients that are supplied or present in the food through the plant products and also the animal products. Okay, so they supply the nutrients in the form of food to our body. The nutrients provided for us through the food are called as food components. These nutrients, they are of two types. They are macronutrients and micronutrients. The nutrients present in the food are called as food components. Present in the food, they are called as food components. These are again of two types. What are they? Nutrients are macronutrients and micronutrients. macronutrients and micronutrients. Macronutrients are carbohydrates, proteins and fats. Carbohydrates, proteins and fats. These are macronutrients. Micronutrients are vitamins and minerals. Vitamins and minerals. These are micronutrients. So these are to be taken in large numbers and often they have to be taken to get the resistance against the diseases. So this is about the food components. Now we'll see in which food items we get these nutrients. Along with these nutrients, we also take in water and fiber also in our diet. We include water and fiber also in our diet. So the nutrients along with all these components, that is the food that contains all these nutrients form a balanced diet. So a diet which contains all the nutrients like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals along with water and fiber is called as a balanced diet. In fact, carbohydrates are taken in large quantities by us and proteins and fats also, but the vitamins and minerals are taken in the sufficient amounts only, and the fat should be in a limited quantity. Is it clear? So this is about the balanced diet. A diet which contains all the nutrients, carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins and minerals and with little amount of fats. It is called as a balanced diet. Okay. So now we'll move to the question, that is in which food items the nutrients are present. What are the nutrients that are present in the food items? How to test them? How to know the particular component is present in a particular food item? So that can be tested also. Is it clear, children? So the test we can do, the test for carbohydrates. If you take the test for carbohydrates, you should know what are the sources of carbohydrates. So you know that we take in the previous class itself, we learned that we get food from plants and animals. So the plant sources or what are the sources of food? Carbohydrates, sources of food. So sources of carbohydrates. First we have to know the sources of carbohydrates. They are cereals, whole cereals. Is it clear, children? Whole cereals, tubers, sugars and jaggery. Whole cereals, tubers, sugars and jaggery. It contains the carbohydrates. Carbohydrates are the sugars which are present in our food which gives us energy. So they are called as energy giving foods. Energy giving foods. Is it clear, children? So these carbohydrates almost they are present in all the fruits and vegetables also. In fruits also contains the sugars or glucose in them, which are the sources of the carbohydrates to our body and they give us energy. So you know that the main function of food is to give energy. Carbohydrates supply the basic part of the energy through the food. Is it clear, children? So these carbohydrates can be tested whether they are present in a food item or not. You know, if a rice or any other food item, tuber, that is potato, you can take as it is a tuber, or sugars you can take in a powdered form and you can test it, or jaggery, anything. You take any item, food item. For example, if it is a rice, you take in the form of flour. You take rice flour. Then you test it. The chemical substance for testing is, testing the carbohydrates is dilute iodine solution. What it is? Dilute iodine solution. For the test for carbohydrates, it is dilute iodine solution. So chemical used for testing the carbohydrates is dilute iodine solution. When we add 2 to 3 drops of dilute iodine solution on the carbohydrate sources, one of the carbohydrate sources, and you take in a test tube the rice flour, took the rice flour, added 2 to 3 drops of dilute iodine solution. Okay, dilute iodine solution, then the flour turns to dark blue or black color, dark blue or black color. So in a test tube you are taking the rice flour and you are adding 2 to 3, you are making it into paste. So paste it, the flour should be pasted, made into paste, and in a test tube, and then you add the dilute iodine solution. Previously it will be dark brown in color, the iodine solution. It turns to light yellow in color when you dilute it. When you dilute the dilute iodine solution, it becomes light yellow in color. So that you add the dilute iodine solution, 2 to 3 drops of dilute iodine solution to the rice flour that is being paste of rice flour. Then it turns to blue or black color. So it is the observation. It is the confirmation test for the carbohydrates. If a substance turns dark blue or black on addition of dilute iodine solution, then it is confirmed that the substance contains, that is the rice. Here we have taken the substance as rice. It contains the carbohydrates. Okay children, next we will move to the test for the proteins. So this is the test for proteins, the second one. You know, first you have to know the sources of proteins. What are the substances that contains the proteins? In proteins, you have the complete proteins and incomplete proteins. Plant sources. The plant sources contains the complete proteins. They contain the complete proteins. Whereas the animal sources, incomplete proteins. Plant sources contains the incomplete proteins and animal sources contains the complete proteins. Complete proteins. What are plant sources? Plant sources mainly it may be the soya bean, pulses, bean, peas. All these are the plant sources. Okay, pulses mainly, beans, peas. They contain the proteins in them, and the animal sources mainly being milk, meat, cheese, eggs, butter. So these are all the examples for the animal proteins. These substances contains the proteins in them. So how to test that these substance contains the proteins, that is we have to know. For this test, we know chemicals required are, what are these different chemicals that are required to test the proteins? To test proteins. Okay, so the chemicals that are required to test proteins are, first one is the copper sulfate solution, 2% copper sulfate solution. Now we'll see what do you mean by 2% copper sulfate solution. And next chemical is 10% sodium hydroxide solution. 10% sodium hydroxide solution. Hydroxide solution. 2% copper sulfate solution means 2 grams of copper sulfate in 100 ml of water. 10% sodium hydroxide solution means 10 grams of sodium hydroxide in, that is they are in the form of pellets in 100 ml of water. So this gives you 2% copper sulfate solution and 10% sodium hydroxide solution. Both of them are taken in a test tube. So if a test tube, two test tubes you can take, and this contains the 2% copper sulfate solution, and in another test tube you are going to take 10% sodium hydroxide solution. What are you going to take? Sodium hydroxide solution. Is it clear, children? So, for this test, you are taking two chemicals, namely copper sulfate solution and sodium hydroxide solution, to test the proteins. So, next, you are testing them in a milk, because you know that milk contains proteins. Okay, so milk is an animal complete protein. So when you add the two drops of copper sulfate and 10 drops of sodium hydroxide, it turns to violet or purple. Observation is violet or purple. Okay, children. So if the solution turns violet or purple, you can say that the substance contains the proteins. If it turns violet or purple, then we can say that the substance contains proteins. Okay, children. So, in the next test is about the test for fats. The test for fats is easily done by taking a fat food, that you know that oils, ghee, they all contain vanaspati, cheese, butter, all contains the fats. So, the next question is about the test for fats. Okay, children, for the test for fats, you should know the sources. Sources of fats are oil, ghee, vanaspati means dalda. Okay, vanaspati. See here, children, oil, ghee, vanaspati, cheese, butter, nuts and junk foods contain the fats. If you take groundnuts, that is the nuts which contain the fats, in a paper and crush along and crush the paper with them and keep against the light source, you can see that the paper turns translucent. This is the test for the presence of fats in a given food substance. So with this, we have completed the confirmation test for carbohydrates, proteins and fats. In the next chapter, that is the next revision class, we will proceed. Thank you, children.